since they closed my factory down in the town. So I'm aware how I look. I know I look like every guy from Wetherspoons. That was at the Tommy Robinson March on Saturday. Good to see you again, lads. And spends his days in Wetherspoons bemoaning that he spent all day putting up flags and painting roundabouts. Just the roundabouts thing for a second, that's confused me a bit, because it seems pointless, because as a country we've already agreed on roundabouts to give way to the right. So but despite looking like that, I was actually raised as a Jehovah's Witness. Sorry. Old habits die hard. So, as I'm on first, I've got to figure out what you like as a crowd. So we're going to do some topical stuff. We're going to do some political stuff. Take the mick out the left, the right, and the centre. Do some light stuff. Do some dark stuff. If it gets too dark, let me know. I'll bring it back. If you're enjoying it, let me know and we'll carry on. Is that all right, Bedford? Yeah! Cool. So we're going to do a little topical one from this country, first of all, just to gauge the room. So, a racist and a murderer walk into a pub. I said it was topical, I didn't say it was light. So a racist and murderer walk into a pub. Barman says, "Evening, officers." So, not really a joke, just a sad fact. So people will quite often say to me, "What was it like growing up as a Jehovah's Witness?" Well, for those of you not aware, other faiths, Catholics, etc., they believe Father, Son, Holy Spirit are all one. They call it the Trinity. Whereas Jehovah's Witnesses believe they're all separate. We're in Bedford, so most of you probably won't have heard the word Trinity before, so I'll try and explain it. Other faiths will only listen to Destiny's Child albums as a group. Whereas Jehovah's Witnesses appreciate the individual quality and talent of Beyonce and the other two. Right, so right, we'll do a bit of pop culture. So, pop culture for you, so that's like news from TikTok. TikTok for you, sir, like a cross between the Daily Mail and Babe Station. Just racist conspiracies and tits. The kids love it. So, I don't know if you're aware, but in this country, the more attractive you are, statistically speaking, the higher level of crime you're likely to get away with. Yeah, not a joke, just to get inside enjoyment. So it got me thinking about celebrities and what level of crime they could get away with, purely based on their looks. So, Chris Hemsworth, 90s Brad Pitt for you older ones. Attractive, genocide, Ed Sheeran, probably littering. Wayne Rooney's getting arrested for crimes other people commit. So talking about criminals, I will do some political stuff. Keir Starmer, do you remember when they got in last year? Do we remember when they announced the assisted dying programme? Remember? Oh shit, what's it called? That was it. The cut to the pensioners' winter fuel allowance. Now, that was bad news for my nan. She was terrified. But we've got through winter, spring, summer, so I got a new house. Right, can I go a little bit darker, Bedford? You like with that? Yeah. So, cost of living doesn't just affect older people. I've got two daughters, I live in Putney. My oldest, she just started senior school, so wanted to go into London to do a bit of shopping. And everything's so expensive nowadays. Right, I did warn you. It's so expensive, I had to shave her head so we could get a free taxi back from Great Ormond Street. She hates that joke. What if any of the parents of my friends at school, they're going to think I'm bald? No, they won't. Okay, so what else we going on? Oh, okay, we'll do a little lighter one. So, what have Jeremy Corbyn, Keir Starmer, and stamp duty got in common? They're Angela Rayner's answers when she plays the game Snog, married, avoid. So, also, did anybody see, it turned out it was AI by the Russians, which was slightly disappointing, but did anybody see the video of Keir Starmer and Macron doing cocaine on the train. Yeah, and I thought, I was disappointed when it was out, but I thought doing cocaine on the train, I thought, see it, say it, snort it. Policies make sense now though, because like when I've done cocaine, allegedly, makes you want to fuck half the country, doesn't it? Don't know why he picked on the old people though. And also, he wants to cut the deficit. We've got a big deficit. So his key proposal for that is to get criminals to make a positive contribution to society. He wants to get them working. So whether you are a racist, a murderer, or prone to violence against women, there is a job at the Metropolitan Police for you. Or for fact, in a joke. Right, we can leave Labour alone now. So Boris Johnson, remember him when he used to be relevant? 10 days ago, he announced the birth of his 9th child. Fuck. The EU is the only thing that man's ever pulled out of, isn't it? And even then he didn't want to. But the real leader, apparently, of the opposition, according to the media now, is Nigel Farage. Nigel Farage, leader of Reform UK, KK. And they've announced there's a Reform UK football team. You can buy a Reform UK football shirt. And any football fans in? Yeah. So I think the Reform UK team's going to have the same issue as England's golden generation. Like Becks and Scholes, Gerrard Lampard. On paper, yeah, looks all right, but just weak on the left wing. And that deserved that. They've also, the next one deserves it as well. They've also opened a Reform UK pub in Blackpool. If you know Blackpool, so you go down the high street, the pub's on the far right. Only serves bitter. But okay, so right, we'll go over to America. Obviously, there's issues there. And, I can get up and I can take the piss out of the left, take the piss out of the right, and not worry about getting shot. And America, whenever there's a shooting, they always quote the Second Amendment. The right to bear arms. Now, that was in place to protect you from rogue government. That's why it was in place. And if you think guns will protect you from a government, you don't know how drones and tanks work. But I think America needs to learn from us. Remember a few years ago when we had our sort of left-wing violence and somebody threw a McDonald's milkshake over Farage? And of course, you can't ban milkshakes. British people, we're allowed milkshakes. But someone clearly had a word, because have you ever been into a McDonald's and been able to order one since? That's all I'm saying. And also, so Trump has come out with some really crazy stuff. And the one that made me laugh was he's rescinded the ban on plastic straws. Environmentalists are up in arms. And I just think, if you are a fully grown adult concerned about the environmental impact of using a plastic straw, just use a rolled up banknote like everybody else does. You want to show you one more darker one, then we'll put it back? About America? So he's also gone after halal food. He says he wants American food killed the American way. The chances of a coward in high school and getting shot by one of his classmates. So I will leave you. I'll leave you with two jokes. So the first one I'm going to leave you with is the first joke I ever wrote, and then with my upbringing, the last one we leave you. It would be remiss of me not to leave you with a knock joke, wouldn't it? Not to leave you with a knock joke. So first joke I ever wrote. So I was working in this guy's house. He was ex-army. He'd lost his hand in the night. And he'd got a really nice watch on. And I wanted to ask him about it. And I said to him, Kev, can I ask you about the watch? And he said, yeah, what do you want to know? I said, are you not worried that it's going to fall off? And he said, yeah, Lewis, I am. But if I weren't on the other hand, how the fuck would I do it up? So, as I said, I'll leave you with a knock joke. So, this is my daughter's, not the bald one. So, if you don't laugh, if you hate kids, not all of them, just mine. And she knows it's risque, she's not sure why. but she knows she is told off when she tells it. So, need your help. So, knock knock.
Who's there?
Mum Fox. Everyone. Thank you very much.